morning, the 22nd of June 2021, and here I am once again in the shed doing a series of poetry on what has started now as a series known as Poetry from the Shed of Eternal Damnation. And here is another book of shadows. This one actually came from Wookey Hole in Somerset many years ago, and I will read you the poetry for today, which will be number 5, I believe. And here we go. This poem is called The Cathedral. Excuse me. There are angels in the cathedral, absorbing light from the stained glass. The high altar, illuminated by candlelight. This is the backdrop to the Mass. The cruelty of the crucifix, bloodied hands and feet, arms outstretched, a lifeless form faces the pews. Was this really the Son of God, Jesus Christ, King of the Jews? The sun streams through the stained glass. A kaleidoscope of colour floods the floor, while a man dressed in festal clothing stands nearby, close to an old oak door. There is a monk stood by the chancel rail, but is he really there? Is he just a memory of centuries past? Smoke from incense fills the air. There are plaques engraved upon the walls, showing some ancient archaic law. The 10 Commandments you must live by if you wish to enter heaven's door. The cathedral candles begin to flicker, as though blown by unseen breath. The mist in the graveyard is dancing, ethereal spirits raised from death. The lifeless Christ just hanging there. But how can that truly be? Did he not arise on that third day to set those captives free? Strange sounds around the catacombs. A disembodied voice spoke. It became louder by the minute as all of the dead awoke. The atmosphere grew much darker. Then there were footsteps down the aisle. Several nuns stood in front of a priest who had a very manic smile. Suddenly, the organ started playing, but there was no organist there. I'm not sure if any of them saw me. They all appeared to be unaware. Black candles were lit on the altar, a blood sacrifice chained to the floor. They were invoking the presence of Lucifer, promising devotion to him evermore. Very soon the aroma of sulphur, followed by the tolling of a bell. The walls of the cathedral shook as Lucifer ascended from hell. Prostrating themselves before him, not daring to look at his face. Memories flooded through my mind that I belonged to the angelic race. I stood and I looked all around me. Then Lucifer called out my name. I obeyed him and walked towards him. Now my life will never be the same. He said he knew me from centuries past, in the original fall from grace, as he and I fell together from high in that heavenly place. He told me it was our time to rise, to take control over the earth, as Lucifer and I took to our thrones, which were ours from our birth. The lifeless Christ there crucified, an object of ridicule and shame, now being worshipped by Christians, begging forgiveness for sins and pain. But there is no forgiveness for their lives, no atonement for their sin, in a war that has raged thousands of years, in battles they cannot win. I'd like to thank you all for listening to that and apologise for the croaky voice. If you've enjoyed what you've heard, please feel free to leave a comment, be it pro-Christian or anti-Christian, pro-Lucifer, anti-Lucifer, whatever. And please feel free to subscribe, it costs nothing, and click the bell icon for any further uploads, as my channel covers a wide variety of things, not only poetry. So namaste, and thank you again for listening.